Hello, sir. Can you keep yourself muted, please? Hello, Arun. Can you turn off your video? Thank you. Can you hear me?
Ashraful, you are audible, but like bit echo.
इंटरनेट करना है और सिम्युलस का हटा दो.
Hi, PHYTEC team. This is Uday from Qualcomm. Can you hear me?
Uday sir, you are audible and visible.
Fantastic. Thank you. Great.
Would you like to test? Would you like to test your screen share?
Yeah, I'll do that. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
All right. I'm ready to go. Just let me know when to start.
Yeah, sure.
Am I
will just
speaking to Vasu or Srinivas?
Yeah. So myself, Vasu, Uday sir. Hello.
Hi, Vasu. Yes.
Yeah. So Ashraful will start with the introduction, and then like I will set the context and pass it to you. Then you can pass directly to Nitin.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Ashraful, we can start.
Hello everyone. Good morning, and I welcome everyone today to the webinar session. Open discussion series, session 7. So today's topic is Qualcomm IoT Solutions. So I am Ashraful, a product manager of Rugged Board, an open source initiative by PHYTEC and its partners. A quick introduction to PHYTEC. PHYTEC is a German-based motherboard manufacturing company and design develop system on module as well as single board computers using ARM-based processors. We also do provide software development services, hardware development services, and project consultation for verticals like Industry 4.0, EV and mobility, medical and healthcare, smart city, and smart agriculture. So before going ahead, let me introduce Qualcomm team today. Along with me, I have Mr. Uday Dolla, Senior Director, Qualcomm. I have Associate Director, Mr. Nitin Chawla. Along with the Qualcomm team, I also have Mr. Vasu from PHYTEC. He is the Managing Director of PHYTEC India. Also, we have Mr. Nag Mahesh, is the lead technical sales engineer in PHYTEC. Just to before starting, I would like to request all the participants to keep your mic and video turned off. And if you have any questions, you can post your questions on the chat of this on the Teams, and we will be answering the questions just after the presentation basically. So this is a mostly discussion series, so we will be trying to answer maximum of your question. And also we are available in YouTube as well as in Facebook Live right now. If you are not able to view or not able to hear our voice, you can directly move to YouTube or Facebook. Basically, I'll put the link on the description. To set the context, I would like to invite Mr. Vasu to go ahead.
Thank you, Ashraful. Hey, good afternoon to all. So it's nice that like a lot of people are following us. It has been successfully 2 weeks, and we stepped into the third week of the open sessions. So the basic idea of open session was to create the basic knowledge pool which can be shared between the industry experts and the industry domain experts basically. So the I believe most of the participants have their own domains starting from industrial smart industry or agriculture, smart cities, transportation, medical. So I believe your domain expertise when is connected with the technical expertise from industries. So it brings a lot of value addition, and then the product design and manufacturing in India would be really possible. With this session, which we started 2 weeks back with a theme of knowing your embedded processor when you design your embedded product, basically. So what are the embedded processors available in general for a different market verticals? So I believe it has been a great journey last 2 weeks, looking into different SOCs or the chips by different semiconductor partners. So today we have one of the giant in this embedded market. I believe most of you know, even if you don't know, you are using Qualcomm in your mobiles or in your wearables, or like even in a small Bluetooth headsets or the like Bluetooth keyboards or so basically. So there are a lot of chips which are developed by Qualcomm. So Qualcomm being the industry leader, I would say currently it is top one because of the mobile chipsets. So I believe Uday sir will give more in detail about their stuff, but like we are honor to host a Qualcomm team and connect to our industry partners. Over to Uday, sir.
All right. Thank you, Vasu and the PHYTEC team. We really appreciate the chance to discuss with the larger audience about Qualcomm. Of course, 30 minutes is never enough, but we'll try and give you an overview of Qualcomm solutions, specifically around IoT this time. My name is Uday. I work out of the Bangalore office, and I manage business development for our IoT verticals. Along with me, I have Mr. Nitin Chawla, who is our technical expert for a lot of these solutions. So we're going to tag team here. I'm going to just give a quick overview of what Qualcomm is and our approach to solutions, and then pass over to Nitin, who will then cover some of the specific verticals that may be of interest. Definitely open to questions. Feel free to stop us for if you have any questions, anything that sits out. Please let us know, and we'll be happy to answer. This presentation is very short. I shouldn't take more than 10 minutes, but I'll start off with an animation just to give you, just to lay the context of what IoT has become lately. All right, I hope that was visible to everybody. So essentially what this animation basically suggested was that it's not a very simple ecosystem that we are living in now, or that's being created as we speak. It's a complex, interconnected world of things, some that are small, some that are big, some that are mission critical, and some that are very complex in nature. Bringing all that together needs a system approach. It does not. It's not as simple as providing a microprocessor for an end solution, but it actually requires a system approach. And systems, I mean, is hardware, software, security, and connectivity. And we'll discuss that a little bit as we go along. So as the animation alluded to, IoT is constantly evolving, and there's a lot of challenges that we in the ecosystem face. By no means has it completely evolved. Is it completely stress-free? The opportunities are massive, but along with that, we have complex challenges, mainly around customer expectations. The customer is expecting a high rate of productivity increases, high reliability, and low cost. As a result of the massive opportunity of IoT, there's heavy competition, right? There's so many companies. Now, I'm not just talking about silicon. I'm talking about system integrators. I'm talking about end-to-end service providers. So it's important for us to create a solution that maintains a very competitive price point while meeting the requirements of the consumers, and do so in a very rapidly changing environment. Today's solution may not work tomorrow. Tomorrow's solution may be obsolete the day after. So how do we continue to rapidly evolve and maintain the relevancy of our solutions? That, as you all know, is something that is faced in the world of IoT. So therefore, just to give you a little bit of background on our approach to IoT. Our history, as Mr. Vasu suggested, was in the mobile phone business. When we invented the mobile phone technology that converted analog, the 1G transformation to the digital world. We then, using that, we transformed computing. We brought pretty much the entire compute power that was on a desktop to smartphones. We made smartphones the centerpiece of our technology, and we transitioned a lot of the compute that's happening, say, in the cloud or even on desktops to smartphones. And that is then going to help transform industries. By bringing that compute to even smaller devices, even smaller form factors, and applying it across a wide range of verticals, will be transforming industries. That is our approach to how and our evolution and our journey in this IoT space. This is a slide that talks about Qualcomm in general and the various technologies we bring together. This is not exhaustive by any means, but it should give you an idea of everything, all the various building blocks that Qualcomm develops and produces. It's just, you may know us for chips in smartphones, but as Vasu said, we are found in wearables. We are found in speakers. We are found in audio products. We are found in cameras. That's because we have building blocks for all these already in our silicon. So a standard piece of silicon that we provide has pretty much a mix of everything here that you see. And that is, again, the way we approach the problem. We approach it from a system solution point of view. This is made possible by our continuous investment in innovation. We are continuously investing in innovation, and since the formation of our company, this is the amount of money that we've spent, the patents that we've filed, and the partners that we've onboarded. And this is my last slide before I turn over to Nitin. Our fundamental approach to creating a foundation for IoT is to bring the three pillars that are very essential for an electronic universe together: compute, security, and connectivity. You all know that our heritage is from the connectivity piece, right? We invented CDMA, then we did 3G, 4G. Now we are on our way to 5G. In addition to that, we have Wi-Fi technologies, BLE, and mesh technologies. That's the connectivity domain. From the left side comes the compute domain, where we have our CPU, GPU, powerful processing engines. There's a lot of AI now that comes built in on our silicon, and that enables edge and cloud services. In the center of it all is security. We believe the fundamental reason for the success of IoT in the future is going to be determining how secure it is. People are not going to trust if your solution is inherently insecure. So we therefore make security a fundamental pillar of our solution. And we combine the three together to lay the future, to create a foundation for IoT in Qualcomm. Nitin, it's yours to take over.
Hello guys, this is Nitin Chawla. I'm part of product marketing team based in Mumbai. Let me know if you're able to see the desktop.
Visible.
Yes, sir, it is visible, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, here I am. Uday talked at a high level about our IoT portfolio, right? And I will talk of the specific verticals and the use cases which we can target using our IoT portfolio. So in this slide, basically, we are talking about how Qualcomm has an unmatched portfolio of connectivity and computing, right? And how these technologies are being applied across all aspects of IoT, from consumer and wearables to drones and automotives. So we'll talk of a specific category in each slide. So in this slide, as you can see, we are talking about the factories which are working smarter, right? The warehouse basically using the same connectivity and the computing innovation and the pillars which Uday talked about, basically they are using the same smartphone innovations for and using it in the new industrial handhelds, right? That will redefine the entire segment and bring in this new industrial revolution. The mobile innovations, basically they are driving the retail IoT, including the payments and the digital signage. The point of sales, right? For example, are shifting from the traditional cash register to the embedded devices of the larger screens, cameras, right? And the manufacturing side, the factory of the future will be wireless, right? Unlike today, everything will be monitored and optimized. The metering side, again, it's a big revolution, right? The Qualcomm portfolio of the connected solution, basically it's helping all the utility companies to improve the operational efficiencies with connected smart meters, and we are actually eliminating the need to deploy to physically go and monitor the physical meter, right? So it's a complete automation in the utilities which we are bringing in. Smart cities, again, here basically Qualcomm is helping to empowering the cities to become the smart cities, basically by supporting the ecosystem of the partners to provide the smart, efficient, and the sustainable technologies to address the increasing computing and the connectivity demand, right? So you might have already seen how the cities are getting transformed, right? So we actually enable this by our ecosystem of the partners. We leverage the digital technology embedded across the cities, right? Basically, we manage, sustain, and evolve the services to achieve the goal set by the citizens. So let's say whatever the use cases government comes in, right? The ecosystem of the partners will make sure we enable through our technologies and the products. Coming to the smart homes, again, the voice recognition, the home control and automation, the home video surveillance. Basically, the complete home is now automated, right? We also have got our, recently, last week, we launched our new robotics RB5 platform, right? And basically, this RB5 platform supports the development of next generation of high compute, the low power robots and drones, right? And so basically, what is happening is over the time, right? The AI power on our
your voice is a little bit not clear. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay, let me be near to the laptop. So basically, the AI power is increasing fold, right? So the new AI platform which we introduced on RB on robotics, right? Basically, it's coupled with the fifth generation of AI engine, delivering the 15 tera-trillion operations, right? So basically, 15 tops of AI performance is achieved using this RB5 platform. Right now, the media box use cases which we have shown enables you to basically not only stream using your 4K box, but rather you enable a couple of AI-related use cases where based on who is watching the TV, who is giving the voice command. So the media box knows who is sitting and it will detect the face and your UI will change accordingly. So I think the world is entering in the new phase of AI where all the home appliances will start using AI to deliver a different set of use cases. In audio, again, right till now we were in the world of the BT speakers. Now the last 2-3 years, the Alexa and Google Home have already introduced the smart speakers, their own smart speakers, right? But the transition is now going to happen in the OEM space. All the audio products which we find right from sound bars to the BT speakers will now be basically integrated. You will have a voice UI integrated in them, right? So that transition is now going to happen across all the products which you see in the home, whether it's a microwave or your sound bar or your routers. The voice UI will be added in the home appliances, right? The TWS are becoming a default product now. So gone are the days of the wired headphones. So that transition has already started happening, and we see a surge in the TWS market starting this year. Variable side, basically consumer needs variable that can keep up with their busy lives. What does that mean? That means versatility, that means connectivity, reliability, and long-lasting battery, right? From children to elderly to pets to everyone experiencing benefit of the variables, right? So the Qualcomm is basically enabling the thinner, sleeker, and the long-lasting variable devices to enhance every day and everybody. And Qualcomm is basically number one provider of the 4G LTE connected variables. Cameras again, right? Gone are the days where cameras was used only for surveillance. Basically, advanced cameras are now used for processing powerful machine learning and computer vision at the edge, right? That will enable the new applications that will push the boundaries of the connected world. So the home this will enable the complete different use cases. If you talk of any sector, whether it's a retail, mining, or any other sector, right? The edge power, the AI at the edge will enable a very different set of use cases, which is already happening last 1 or 2 years. And even in the home, if you see, basically it was used only for surveillance till date. But now when an unknown person enters the home, if the baby is crying or if the elderly fall is being detected, so there are different use cases which are evolving because of the edge analytics on the camera. So, so in this last few slides, basically we have talked about the multiple verticals, right, where we are offering our solutions on the IoT. We'll look forward for any Q&A from the audience.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Nitin, for your presentation, and also Mr. Uday for your very much informative presentation regarding the products available with Qualcomm, especially for the IoT sector. Yeah, it is very difficult to complete all the things on this very short time period, basically. But yeah, you have actually given a lot of information what actually I could recollect. Yeah, still people are asking like voice is not clear. Am I audible clearly? Can you please confirm?
Yeah,
Can you write yes?
Yes, your voice is.
Ashraful, you are audible.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to
let me
request
take
the
it forward.
participants to write yes on the chat box if it is if you are able to hear, or you can write no if you are not able to hear. And if you are not able to hear, what I can say is you just disconnect your disconnect from the meeting and go back to join back again. Okay, coming back to the session basically. So let us go for the question answer session basically. So here, one of the questions. Yeah.
Ashraful, let me take it little bit.
Yeah.
Mr. Uday and Nitin, can you just a little bit brief about the processor families which are more meant for this embedded example, like couple of not all the IPs, but like couple of IPs you have more focused on this embedded market. So can you give a little bit introduction of those things?
Sure. So, we would like to talk about the SoC architecture, right? So now, if you look at the overall SoC architecture, right, when we let's say when we go and try to buy the the mobile phone, right? We typically look at the CPU, right? And whether it's a dual core, octa core, what is the processing speed, right? What is the clock speed? So or the memory size, and we end there. But typical SoC also consists of other processing modules, right? Like you have the GPU, you have the ISP, right? You have basically the different modules for a specific task, right? The workload earlier, the compute was the basically basic connectivity which was needed in the 2G and the 3G smartphones, but now that's not the case.
और लेते हैं अपने से इनका ऑलरेडी बिलिंग कस्टमर है अपने का बाकी पार्ट जाते ही नहीं होता उनके पास
Sorry, there is some background noise. So the point which I'm saying is till now, the in the 2G, 3G world, the connectivity was the key USP, right? But last 3-4 years, right, we have actually multiple DSPs in the SoC, which takes care of the connectivity. As I'm getting a feedback, the voice is not clear.
I think you have some throat sore, I believe. So it's not the clear voice, but like, yeah, I think your throat is a little bit not good.
Okay, so yeah, so to answer you, right, so our SoC architecture basically consists of multiple processing modules, right, which includes the GPU, which includes the NPU, right? We are increasing the compute DSP power manifold. So since the workload has changed, right, the AI engine basically the tops which I talked about, right, had increased manifold in last 2 to 3 years. So
Nitinji, can you quickly run through if you have a PPT, or like maybe you can also open from your website and show a couple of SoCs. I think that's where the participants are more interested, because this is more an embedded forum. And then like last 2 weeks, we have been looking into many processors. So just they wanted to see some series of your processors which are more meant for their things, right?
Yeah.
Let's say, let's suppose if someone want to build.
Yeah, sorry, Mr. Vasu. So specifically, is there your audience, what kind of, like we discussed, right? There's wearables, there's smart cities, there's cameras, there's robotics.
Yeah.
So are there
cameras and AIML, more on MSM 8.9 and above, basically. So as we know, say for example, I think MSM 8909 was more opened for the partners, and then like we developed Android POS machine using MSM 8909, and I think after that you have MSM 8953, which was more on Cortex A53, I believe. So this is the one which are more open, like or 410, or like you have embedded platforms on 99 boards or something like that, which are more common to these embedded users. Say there are users, I believe many users are interested in the cameras. They might have to build the cameras or AIML stuffs they wanted to build. So what are the open platforms? So I believe first of all I should introduce saying that like the Qualcomm platforms are more a license. There is a tight license-based engagement happens in Qualcomm to the partners, but there are a couple of platforms which have made more open to the embedded and all. So I thought like it would be nice if you introduce those platforms.
You know, what I will do is I will share one of the slide, right, where I talk about, I will share my, in fact, website, right, where anybody can go and check out the available solutions. And I will talk more about that then. Let me quickly share my slide.
Meanwhile, I think there are several questions which are very specific. For example, I'm seeing, is there any gateway service for network connectivity, right? So how are you, Vasu, how are you handling these questions that are being raised? Are you going to curate these questions and so that we can answer later, or should we do that in real time?
Yeah,
we will be taking those questions real time.
Start taking up.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Because there's the questions around NB-IoT products. Yes, we do have a portfolio of NB-IoT. We do have a portfolio of gateway SoCs. And someone's asking for a Snapdragon processor list. That's a very big list. So that's why we couldn't give an exact go into exact technical details, Mr. Vasu, because the portfolio is fairly vast, right? So if there are very specific platforms you're looking at, you want more information on, we can focus on those.
So as you can see, right?
The same basically, yeah.
I have shared the Qualcomm.com portal, right? Now, if you see our product categories, right, these are the multiple verticals. At a high level, I talked about the industrial and commercial and cameras, which are of your interest, right? Now, if I go in industrial and commercial, right, we have multiple categories here, right, which includes the retail platforms, right, which includes the asset tracking. Basically, these are the trackers and the NB platform, which we're talking about, like 212, which is an NB only platform, right? While 9205 and 9206, they support NB plus Cat M1 plus 2G, right? So we have 3 platforms which are available for the tracker use cases, and these are for NB specifically. We do have the LTE connectivity platform, which is different. So again, on the manufacturing side, we have shown here the 9205, which is the NB platform, and also we have shown the robotics platform. This RB Fly platform, which I just talked about, right? That's a new platform which we just released last week, and that uses our best-in-class processor available, the app processor which is available in Qualcomm portfolio. So we have our I mean, here we are showing the Hawkeye platform, right? The connectivity platform which we have on the Wi-Fi AP side, right? And basically the networking platforms. These all platforms are basically so 8074 and the networking Pro 1200 platform. They actually are the Wi-Fi 6 platform, which enables you to use 11AX as a Wi-Fi protocol on both 2.4 gig and 5 gig, right? So I think depending on what you are targeting, right? So let's say for the cameras, I on cameras as well. So again on cameras, right? We have a camera platform which is pretty much wide, right? And basically in we have an older platform 8909 which we are talking about. Now we have moved on from 8909 to platforms which are very powerful on the AI side, right? So we have launched the QCS 605 last year, which is a Red Dragon platform, right? And this platform basically again it's a very powerful GPU, and it has a very powerful the camera processing, right? The image signal processing. So the ISP is very powerful. The AI workload, you have the separate NPU where you can run your AI workload on QCS 605. This year again we have launched 2 new chipsets on camera, which is 610 and 410, right? So basically all our platforms, right, are any new platform of Qualcomm basically on the camera or any other use case we talked about is very powerful on the AI side. So when it comes to variable camera, again the same SoCs which we talked about, 605, 610, 410, right? We do have we have categorized all our platforms in multiple tiers, similar to our mobile SoC. And I don't want to talk about a specific platform, but for any specific requirement, basically you can shortlist at the high level from our portal, and we are always available. I am part of the product team, so I'm always reachable for any specific use case you are targeting.
Nitinji or Udayji, so can you just quickly, I think especially because the Qualcomm have a lot of product portfolios basically. So quickly, I think it would be nice to give a small, at least introduction about how do you categorize your processors, because like many times the people are a little bit confused. So many times they see Snapdragon as a name, and then like when go to the chips, there are like say MSM, MDM, and then you have QCA, and then like now I could see APQ. There are a lot of these keywords,
Okay.
which I think even for me, like even though I have more than 10 years of experience working on Qualcomm platforms, but still it many times confuses, right? Like, so if you can give a quick overview, what are these all names all about basically, right? And then it would be also nice to
very good question.
Bluetooth CSR parts.
Yeah, great. So I'll take that question. So our history goes back to creating connectivity for mobile phones, and therefore with that legacy, our chipsets were called MSMs, standing for mobile station modems. Right, very simply put, that's the full form of MSM. Because they were initially a very simple ARM, not even ARM, basic CPU, which ran the OS, but the most important part was the modem. Now, there was also a class of devices which would go into fixed wireless access or MiFi routers, etc., which didn't need an application processor per se, and they were not in mobiles. So, or rather, they were not in smartphones. So we came out with a line of chipsets called MDMs, mobile data modems. So that's the full form of those two line of chipsets. Those were our history, our legacy. However, as we pushed into other verticals which didn't need modems, which didn't need the 3G, 4G, or 2G or CDMA technology, but mostly relied on Wi-Fi and BLE, we removed the modem part of it, and we call them APQ, which stands for Application Processor Qualcomm. So APQ 8009 is the non-modem part of MSM 8909. Very simply put, that's the connection you make. The 9 there stands for whether it is enabled with LTE or not, or the lack thereof. So 8009 would be a non-modem version. 8909 would be a modem version. So that's how we started off. Our tiering is traditionally based on the cost of phones that are built on these platforms. So initially we had the 200 series, which is the lowest end, 400, which sits right above it, 600, and 800. 800 is our premium tier, and 600 is a high tier, 400 is, and 200 are our value tiers. We recently introduced a 700 series last year, but that sits between the 800 and the 600 for markets which can't really afford the premium tier, but they want higher specs than the 600 tier. So that's how we've tiered our Snapdragon portfolio. Snapdragon is specifically used for our mobile portfolio. We moved away from calling our IoT solutions or our Wi-Fi solutions based on Snapdragon. We don't use that for non-mobile platforms. So that's the little bit of a history on Snapdragon, our tiers, and why MSM and APQ. A few years ago, we acquired the company called CSR, which makes a lot of BLE products and Bluetooth technology solutions. Initially, all their chips were called QSR 8XX or QSR 10XX. We've now renamed those, so the ones that are coming out now, mostly in the form of earbuds, the TWS earbuds, the true wireless earbuds, the neck bands, etc., are called QCC chipsets. So it's the QCC 3000, QCC 5000, etc., that are driving a lot of the smart audio and true wireless solutions out there in the market. You'll see a lot of them already in India, elsewhere, of course, but in India, you'll see a lot of these coming out in the next 6-7 months. Replacing wired headsets in general. Then prior to that, we'd also acquired another company that fundamentally was in the connectivity business called Atheros. So their chipsets initially were called AR. AR, they had the preceding alphabets as AR. Those have now been changed to QCA. So QC Atheros. And then in the QC Atheros family, we have the gateway solutions like the 4020, 4004, 4002. They are all gateway solutions which are a combo with BLE or Wi-Fi themselves. Then further up, we make more powerful solutions which are mostly used for access point technology. So we have the IPQ series, which is an integrated SoC for creating access points, Wave 2 11AC. And very recently, we also launched the 11AX portfolio, which Nitin just spoke about, right? The 80807X is our 11AX portfolio starting SoC there. Everything, unfortunately, a lot of the specific chipset information can only be shared under NDA, which is why the website would be the ideal place for you to look at product categories. For anyone on this call, rather to look at the product categories that you're interested in, and then reach out to either PHYTEC or who will then can work with us on providing you that information specifically. So there is a list of categories that you can choose from, which Nitin just showed you guys just a few minutes ago. Based on specific use cases, we have SoCs.
Thank you, Uday sir. So just to add on, not only PHYTEC basically, so the Excel Point has been supporting us, who are the primary disties of the chips, and then there are other disties like Arrow. So all these guys are also available in this forum, and then they will be easily reachable directly. So we don't
Yes.
make any blockage in between. So we are more a technology guys, where in which we want to share our knowledge and bring our partners' knowledge to the customers. So and then for the participants, you can always put a questions in forum so that like it really addressed and it is not left unanswered. I just want to quickly recap what Uday sir has shared. Probably I will ask my engineers to write down a small blog on this, wherein which it describes. So I just wanted to share my personal experience. So as Uday sir started with MSM series, which are more modem processors, and then like the application processor and the modem processor. Last week we have been always discussing about the application processor. It's the same over here, but like there are multiple processor cores which are bring into a single SoC, and then like each of the processor core have a dedicated functionality. Apart from that, like most of these Qualcomm chips would have a dedicated DSPs who do the audio processing or video processing, because like the richness of UI, what you experience on your mobile, it's not really easy to achieve only by a application processor. So typically, even you go to the lowest end of the SoC by Qualcomm, you would not find less than 4 to 5 cores or like even 8 cores at a minimum, which have last time I think in my first session I have shown you the mobile application where what all ARM cores goes into this, right? Like, so within the main chip itself, you will have an application processor, you have a modem processor, you have a multimedia processor, especially for your audio video codecs basically. And then today, like you have a AIML engines, right? So MSM, then like it goes for a without modem. Recently, Uday sir, without modem, what it was? The series
APQ.
APQ, right? Like
Yes.
so, the after MSM APQ. And the next step was basically to bring in more market for the just connected devices like your Geo, Reliance Geo devices and all. Most of these are like your 4G, 3G dongles, what you connect to your PC and all. Most of them are modem, specifically modem devices, which are MDM series of processors, basically.
Correct.
Uday sir, what is the else? Like this was about all the processors, right? Like anything else I'm missing?
Yeah, and then the CSR portfolio, which is QCC, and then the Atheros portfolio, which is a QCA, mostly for wireless infrastructure, Wi-Fi infrastructure.
Yeah. So then you have another categories which are one is for the Bluetooth, specifically for small IoT devices or wearables, which are by CSR, which is a I know the CSR in my graduation when I broken. Normally I have a passion about the hardware, so I'm the first thing I do with any hardware device is I try to open it up, right? Like it's not unboxing, but like it is breaking the device and getting to know what chipset it is actually. So I come from a x86 PC background, where in which normally if you have to install a driver, you have to open up your CPU and then see the network driver or a VGA driver, see the chip number, and then find the driver and install it. That was the olden stories on PCs. It's the same stuff. I got habituated and I used to open any embedded device, right? Like so since then. So if you really ask me, the first time I would have seen the CSR would be somewhere around 2002 or so, 18 years back. Now, which is a part of Qualcomm. And then the next is Atheros. So it's a sweet story connected to Atheros. In 2005, I started Linux, learning Linux actually. And then like I wanted to practice Linux on a very low cost hardware, because before that, all the hardwares were 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. I did bought some 20,000 rupees Linux based boards. Then finally, I thought like, why not I explore some hacking way. And then like I bought a wireless router which had a Atheros chip, and then like I started porting. It comes with Linux flavor. So there is a flavor called OpenWRT. Basically, it's a Linux distribution for wireless routers, OpenWRT. So that's how I started one of the low-cost Linux board, working with the Linux board, Atheros. That now recently we have done a couple of projects like QCA 4531, which are more for your wireless home routers. I think a couple of guys were asking some questions related to the gateway chipsets and all. So the Qualcomm Atheros chipsets are more aligned with these gateway functionalities, if only pure gateway kind of stuff. So where in which you need a lot of wireless, mainly Wi-Fi and other networking stuffs. So in Atheros, I think you have another series called IPQ. For the more high-end networking processor capabilities and all. Uday sir, that QC Wi-Fi, is it in also in demand in Indian market? Do you see some
Yes.
applications or projects going on? Because I think the Wi-Fi would be most interesting part for the.
That's correct. So in fact, Wi-Fi is picking up in terms of local infrastructure companies wanting to do Wi-Fi access points, gateways for both residential, SMEs, enterprise. In Make in India, we are seeing quite a bit of interest in our Wi-Fi portfolio. In fact, it's fairly extensive. You can cater to a range of price points, a range of capabilities, both for India and for export market. So yes, we are seeing quite a bit of interest in that. And luckily, we have both our distributors, both Arrow and Excel Point, who have the means to support the ecosystem in India on these platforms. We have,
so we supported a couple
yeah.
of partners to develop their end products, basically. So we provided the hardware and software design services. So the most I see the happening Wi-Fi chipsets were QCA 4002, and then like later on, couple of more series of Wi-Fi processors have started coming into that. So I think all join and other features of the Wi-Fi. So QCA 4002 and QCA 4010 and all, I think would be a good interest for the participants who are looking into a specific Wi-Fi stuff. So yeah, that's the overview. Probably
we on the Wi-Fi, Mr. Vasu, there is there is this with both Excel Point and Arrow, we are able to even provide reference kits, dev kits, etc., for people to get started.
Yeah. So let's, Uday sir, now we can jump into the QA. So probably we can randomly pick a couple of questions which you feel you can answer, or maybe from the top to bottom, we can quickly scroll it. I think there are a couple of questions.
One question specifically caught my eye, and that question was that we purchased an XP, and when are we integrating an XP into our SoC? The NXP acquisition did not happen. It was planned, but it did not happen. It was blocked by a government, and therefore we decided to walk away from it. So that's where the story ends as far as NXP is concerned. We still work with them to integrate their specific chips like NFC, for example, along with our reference designs. But we don't integrate their IP into our SoC.
Yeah, so
there was another question on startups for product development. This is a very interesting area. We do have a program that specifically helps startups in India. It's called the Qualcomm Design in India Challenge. We've been doing this for about 4 years now. There's a fifth. Recently, we have started selecting the startups for the fifth cohort. And this is run out of our Bangalore office, where we select a few startups, about 10 to 15 a year, and incubate them on their hardware and their end-to-end solution. So yes, if you're a startup who has a product in mind, who's interested in using Qualcomm SoCs, please, there is a dedicated web page for this. It's called the Qualcomm Design in India Challenge, QDIC.
Uday sir, one more thing, actually, like you have mentioned about robotics development. So do you provide any robotic evaluation kit available with you, basically?
Nitin, do you want to take that?
Do you have any robotic evaluation kit available? Evaluation kit?
Yes, we do have it. We do have it. We do have our couple of partners where they actually develop the eval kit, and you can buy it from there. So there are a couple of partners like Thundercom, Intrinsic, which develop our eval platforms.
Okay. So I think it's the same case for other development boards as well. Like for example, AI based or kind of 5G or how is the evaluation board system like if you want to purchase? So is it always you have to purchase from your third party vendor or how is it?
I think it depends on case to case. Like for camera platforms, of course, our partners are selling the eval platforms as well. All right, they are the ones who work very closely with us. So there are a couple of them who are not only this two, but there is a long list. So there are a couple of partners which, so you go to our site where we actually, in our portal, we have the links of the third party partners which are selling these eval kits. And as I said, for some of the cases, I mean, in fact, for the mobile side, the reference platform comes directly from Qualcomm. So because on the mobile side, when you need the mobile connectivity, you need a separate licensing to be signed. So you have to be onboarded, and there has to be a direct relationship with the Qualcomm sales team, where we enable you to buy the reference platform from directly from Qualcomm.
Okay. Yeah. Sir, one more question. I think it is related to similar stuffs only. Actually, it is like related to IoT security. So, what Qualcomm is doing for this IoT security?
Yeah, so we have a suite of complete security features, right? In fact, our leadership in mobile gets completely leveraged here, right? So most of the security features which we have it on mobile, a lot of them, couple of them are available even on IoT chipsets. So of course, on case-to-case basis, we can, based on the SOC, we can talk more details on each security feature then.
Okay. One more question, actually, like it's about PHYTEC. So how PHYTEC, I mean, what all solutions PHYTEC have or planning to launch based on Qualcomm platform? So Vasu sir, maybe you can give some insight on this.
Yeah, so as such, PHYTEC product portfolio do not holds any of these Qualcomm-based solutions, but PHYTEC engineering side, we are quite familiar with the Qualcomm platforms, and then we are closely connected with the licensee partners. So current licensee partners like Arrow and Excel Point have the licensee of the platforms. So we closely work with them and Qualcomm team. So last year we developed a couple of development kits for the startup programs to the Qualcomm innovation or the startup centers where they use these. So mainly those were based on MSM 8909 and 8953. The modules, we didn't use the chips, but like the modules used by Qualcomm. So as such, if you ask, we have a huge experience on Qualcomm because whatever the cellular modules you do open up, right? Like, so today we have partners like QuickTel or Telit or Neoway or Sierra Wireless. So most of them are using these Qualcomm SoC, and we have a huge hands-on. So as I said, like we started our journey with ARM and Linux. So that's how we are connected with Qualcomm. And then today we are more connected with Qualcomm in terms of product engineering rather than a main product line offering. Main product line offering from PHYTEC. So currently PHYTEC do not have any SOMs based on Qualcomm. Maybe in future we might have, but today I have a couple of partners who do provide a beautiful low cost modules which we do use to design and develop product solution for our customer. So Ashraful, maybe like I would take a couple of queries from the chat, and meanwhile, can you open up our Ashwa product basically, so which we built for NGX, so you can show it on the screen. Meanwhile, we can go with we will look into other.
Okay, yeah, you can go for the questions. I'll share the screen.
Yeah. So one of the query, I think the very early query was, I think by Mr. Murli or someone who said like they got a kit from NASCOM program, and then like I don't know what exactly the kit was. But Mr. Murli, we would be happy if to answer your things. Maybe like if you give more details, it would be nice if you can put your query on our forum. Because here with your question, I don't see a clear thing. Which kit you have and what really you want to do. Probably we can come to you later. And then the next query was any custom camera for our application. So I believe you have seen the camera based platforms has been shown. And then robotic, is there a robotic evaluation kit? There was a link posted over here, and then like you can also see 96 boards is one of the good community where you will find lot of Qualcomm based platforms. Basically, it's mainly I think managed by Avnet or Arrow, I believe. Yeah, it is managed. This 96 board platform is managed by Arrow. So like you will find
Correct.
lot of platforms over here. 96 boards. So this would be one of the good place to find those things. What else? We wish to know the SOC of Wi-Fi router, Mr. Arun K. I believe we have answered the QCA series especially, and depending again the Wi-Fi routers, which are like low end or high end. If you are looking for a low end, like for smart home routers for home automation and all, QCA 4531 and these kind of series would be very much low cost solutions which are widely available in the market. So we have done couple of designs around it. For high end, like say NVR network video recorder or like high end access points and all, like you have to go for IPQ series. So probably we will try to capture your question and answer in the forum also. One question was, does Qualcomm support Indian satellite system NAVIC? Uday sir, question for you.
Yes, we do. Some of our recently available mobile phone chipsets that were launched this year have support for IRNSS, also called NAVIC.
Okay. Yeah, Johan, there was a next question. I would like a guide to start on processor development. Please, anybody can recommend a textbook. So I don't know what the question was. You want to use the processor in your product development or like the processor design itself? The question is a little bit too generic. But like if you are really looking to upgrade from MCU to MPU, I believe you are in correct forum. So this forum started with majorly three types of participants: the people who are doing IoT devices, like say small IoT devices based on microcontrollers, and then wireless microcontrollers. We have introduced a lot of wireless microcontrollers in past sessions, basically. So we help them to develop their IoT products, mainly wearable sensors kind of stuff. The second category is the people who are working on microcontrollers and they want to upgrade to MPUs, basically microprocessors, mainly based on Linux or any other operating system. So we do help. We have a lot of technical sessions. So from Thursday, so till today, like there was a alternate day sessions, but from Wednesday onwards, so you have a daily session. So Wednesday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday will be more on a general discussions, and Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday would be more a technical sessions, where in which we start speaking more deep into the technical. For example, how to port a bootloader, how to port a kernel, how to port a root file system, or like how to design your Wi-Fi router. how to draw a schematic using some specific SOM or SOC kind of stuff. So we will be starting those technical sessions on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, basically. And more of these general discussions will still continue with our partners, and we will be keep on sharing our knowledge on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Specific, more a general discussion, less on deep technical. So this is high level technical sessions, basically. So, Mr. John, probably we would like to hear more about your question. So Nitin has shared the Wi-Fi, and then Rahul, yep, does LoRa, yeah. Uday sir, do you have any specific things for LoRa applications?
No, nothing for LoRa. We don't manufacture LoRa products.
Yeah. So I believe for them, like last Friday, we have seen ST has came with a very attractive LoRa microcontrollers. So you can look into that. Does Qualcomm have a product suitable for IoT infra? It's lot basically, as I told. So you can develop.
We have NB-IoT for that that specific reason. For LPWA, our solutions for LPWA are based on standards, 3GPP standards, and that's NB-IoT, CAT M1, etc.
Yeah. So in PHYTEC SBCs, or like we have a lot of gateway solutions wherein which we have given a MPCI connector, wherein which we have been developing this NB-IoT. So the first NB-IoT board which I launched, I do remember, was 3 years back, I believe, in 2017 or so. We with QuickTel module, which was BG95. So there are most of the wireless module vendors have already stable NB-IoT modules. But if in case OEM guys who want to have their own modules can also start looking into a direct chip. But like the Qualcomm chips have been already integrated into a NB-IoT and Cat1 modems. So I can give you a list. We can make a list of those things, and then probably next week we have sessions by QuickTel and Telit, these module partners who can introduce you the NB-IoT modules, which are in turn using Qualcomm SoCs. As you said, supply modules which we can use initial development. So that's what I said. Like, so a couple of wireless modules were there, but like 96 boards and all also give a lot of SOMs and platforms. What else? So I think, yeah, if you want to develop a LTE module like SIM 7600, where do we have to start in Qualcomm portfolio? So Ravi P, I believe, right? Like, so you have asked if you want to develop a LTE module, means a modem module you want to develop. So I believe you have to start with only modem, then you have to start with MDM series. And if you want to also have a application part, then you can start with MSM or like this. But I believe until and unless you have huge numbers and you are a company from tier 1, I don't think like it would be a viable solution. But if you are working in some millions, 100 millions of numbers, I believe that should be a good start. Qualcomm IoT supports Zigbee. BLE, I know.
Yes, we do. We do have one platform called the QCA 4020 that supports 15.4 thread. So you can do your own 15.4 implementation on that SoC.
What was the number, Uday sir? QC?
QCA 4020.
Okay, 4020. Yeah, QCA 4020. That's the same family of QCA 4000 series,
Yeah,
which
it's a
are
gateway.
Wi-Fi
It's a
series.
gateway chip. Yeah, it's exactly. It's a gateway chip. It's a multi-mode, so Wi-Fi 15.4 and BLE are supported.
Yeah.
Vasu sir, can you look into the last question basically? What is the status of Azure Sphere certified chip that Qualcomm is developing? When it is expected?
I think
So
Uday sir or like Nitin
Yeah.
has to take up this question.
Yeah, let me answer that. So, right, we did announced our modem chipset where we have integrated on 9206, where we basically the NB IoT chipset where we have integrated with Azure Cloud AI. So that should be available, in fact. So the chipset is already CS. We can check the readiness of the software as well. So that was an announcement which we did, in fact, last year.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So one question was modems that are designed with 3G, 4G, 5G, etc. Are they able to handle 2G edge communication? So you have to. There are multiple designs. I saw a couple of designs which were 4G or NB IoT with 2G fallback, but not all. So
yeah, all our modems are multi-mode. So we support all networks starting from 2G till 5G. So yeah, the answer is yes.
So one question was, Nitin, I think you can look into any particular solution which can be used point-to-point low delay Bluetooth audio source and sync for medical equipment which are trying to develop. We require.
Yeah, so we do definitely have a very strong portfolio on Bluetooth, but yes, we need to look at specific values they are looking for this application. We can respond accordingly.
So another question was Qualcomm for autonomous driving. Any framework?
Yes, so we do have our ADAS platform, and there are multiple levels of autonomous driving. Right now, of course, we have already announced our new platform, which might come in future for a full autonomous driving. So I think still there is some time for the launch of that SoC.
Yeah. So any analytical solution for Ashwa or Ashwa Plus? The question is not clear. I think this is related to the POSH. Ashraful, did you share the POSH machine link? Okay. So as such, this processor do not have a AI ML engine, but I believe any software stacks, if you are want to run, probably you can run because it is an Android enabled device. Ashraful, you have a device pic with you?
Yeah, I have. So this is the device with the printer as well as some of the GUI. It is Android based device, and this is the device looks like basically.
Okay, it has been 2.5 years. We developed this and then this is by our partner NGX, who owns this device. So it is 100% make in India. The software, hardware, mechanicals, everything are designed, developed, manufactured in India. So indeed, today a couple of machines are manufactured in Hubli, Deshpande Foundation ESDM facility, basically. Yeah. So what was the next? I think we are good to go. Probably other queries we can take. I think more or less we answered almost all.
That's correct.
Nice time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any question left over? I'll just share the screen of my what do you say, the forum basically, just to showcase. Just a second.
So what we do request is the participants to follow us in our LinkedIn, because we are doing a lot of activities, and then like help us to also reach to your friends to increase this community strength. So in last couple of weeks, we have seen 100+ audience. It's just nice to see and talk with you guys basically.
Yeah. So this is the forum basically. So you can come to phytecembedded.in/forum, and you can ask any kind of questions, like whatever the questions you have. I think today we have all answered almost all the questions. But regarding any session, basically, you can come and ask us the questions here. So you can.
So we'll be capturing. Yeah, we will be capturing the old session QAs also in this. So somehow our team was quite engaged with day-to-day activities. So we are putting all our efforts to bring in all the information at one place. So PHYTEC.in is our actual website. PHYTECembedded.in is the website which we created for this community activities.
Hello.
So,
yeah. Hello. Who is this?
Sir, this is Lakshmana from Anantapur.
Okay.
Can you suggest the industrial IoT evaluation kit for the in the embedded system? I mean Linux based system.
Lakshminarayan sir, there are many. So probably what we do, we will take up this call offline. So we just wanted to understand a little bit more in detail, and then we have many solutions. So it would be nice if we take it offline.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's all. Let's end it up, because it is 18 minutes more. So the last message what we want to convey is thank you for your support to be with PHYTEC team and the partners. So thank you. Special thanks to Uday sir and Nitin from Qualcomm team. It was a really nice session, because getting information on Qualcomm platforms, it is not easy. Why? Because they are plenty, right? Like so you have a lot of information on the net, wherein which it would be difficult. But I believe with help of Uday sir and Nitin, I think we were able to summarize on at least on a high level where to go, what to go, kind of stuff, basically. So that's all. So keep tuned to us. So our team from PHYTEC India is trying the best to be available every day from 12 to 1 with you guys.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Yeah, and also just to all the participants, if you are not receiving the links for joining, you can click on the same link what is sent today basically. So this link will be continued for all the meetings. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.